Hello, everybody. I am yet again Price McKinney, simply put. And as always, I want to thank you for tuning in and listening. Another impromptu. However, this is something that's bothering me. So if you all would just bear with me on this, because I typically don't talk about subjects that are in social media, on the news, that type thing. But and I can't help it because this subject, if you will, is a passion, and I can't turn it off. So want to hit go. I want to address more so women in this particular one, and what this stems from is the situation, of course, with Will slapping Chris Rock on stage. Now, here, we all know the story by now. Here, this dude has reached the pinnacle of his career, getting an Oscar. And at that moment, the peak of it, he snaps, loses it, walks up on stage. Now, the stage was not set for that, but he made it that. Walks up on stage, does what he does. And the thing that I kept looking for, that I took note of, out of the ordinary for me becomes the obvious. I never saw the response of his wife. You heard what Denzel said. People are even interviewing him about what he said to Will Smith. Will addressed it, when he did his acceptance speech. Tyler Perry. But you never see or hear, or in that moment at least, what Jada said. Here's there are two people. I don't care what man it is, and every situation is different. I get it. I totally get it. I don't care what man it is. There are two people that can influence a man at any given moment, especially at his worst. That's the woman that carried him in his womb, which is his mom, and his wife. A woman, his mother or his wife, can reach him or reach men in ways that nobody else can. She could have at least hollered his name to stop him in his tracks so he doesn't mess up his entire career for that moment. Now, will his entire career be messed up? Who's to say? My personal opinion, absolutely not. I'm a diehard Will Smith fan. Will Smith, Denzel, love him. Got just about every movie he's made on DVD. I'm old school, down in my TV cabinet. So that's who's to say. However, his career is damaged, because of it. And so she never called his name, never said, "Hey, stop." None of that. If I recall correctly, she smiled, laughed after he did what he did. And I followed Will Smith for a long time. He was one of my favorite rappers. Always been an upstanding citizen, blase, skip. And so as a result of me being a fan of his, I also watched him, long before this happened, on the Red Table Talk. And this is what I'm going to say to women. And again, this is not for everybody. And, feel free to, give your feedback, your input, your ideas. I'm totally okay with that. But you cannot demasculate or emasculate and demand a man and expect good things to come from it. You just cannot. You cannot. You should be the soft place for him to land, so moments like that don't happen. But here's the problem. When you make your private matters become public, You invite everybody around into what's actually happening. So on these red table talks, that you're addressing, I'm being polite, how he you all's romance or whatever, your sex life, and you can't do that. You cannot do that. You don't put those matters. And here's here's what really bothers me. Just like, I get you. I get she's got the red table talk. I get it. But it's his green that made that table red. It's, I'm just saying. It's his green, his money, his career that has enabled her to do the red table talk. I'm just so you take those matters, you take your personal matters in private and you make them public. And then you wonder why he reacted in public. He reacted in public because that's where your whole relationship has been, out in the open public. Now, again, I'm not saying this is for everybody. I'm not saying that every woman does this, but be careful how you talk and treat your man. Just be careful. Just be careful, because the sad part about this is, unfortunately, these stories happen quite often. It just, his is in the public eye because of who he is. But there's a lot of this that goes on. There's a lot of it that goes on. I wrote a poem years ago called "Murder by Mouth," and it talks about how a woman can tear a man down. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that this is not about what he did to deserve it and he need to be doing this. I will deal with that later. That's not where I'm at right now. I'm just talking about this particular issue, this situation. Be careful how you talk to your man. Don't emasculate him. Because when you start challenging, and I'm being polite, when you start challenging his manhood and you start disrespecting him openly, then you give everybody else in their minds, subconsciously, the right to do the same thing. So then when he reacts, he's not really reacting to what actually happened. He's reacting to all of the stuff behind the scenes that nobody else knows about that has led him up to that point. And then it becomes, oh, he's out of control. Oh, he this. Oh, he that. No, he may have, in that moment, he very well may be out of control. But what got him there? What got him there? So if you can't, females, if you can't be the soft place for that man to land, and you can't address him respectfully, because that's what men need and have to have, is respect. For years, and I get it. Don't get me wrong. We've been taught and we've been told, when men have to have sex. Yes, we do. That is what it is. But over and above the sex, you've got to respect him. Now, does he have to earn it? Absolutely. Again, whole nother subject. Whole nother subject. But don't, especially in open public, don't disrespect a man in open public. Don't make your private matters public. Don't put your business out there, as they used to say. This is one of those situations where, where back in the day, we were taught, we were raised, what goes on in the house, y'all know this, stays in the house. That situation could have been prevented had that happened. So I'm not downing her. I'm not, talking bad about her. I'm just dealing with the reality of the issue, because it happens a lot. And if you're in a situation that you're in a relationship with the man and you're comfortable doing this, I challenge you to stop doing it, because you don't want to put yourself in a situation where he slaps the wrong person, which that happens a lot. And it ain't gonna go, where whoever he slaps or whoever he hits turns around and says, "Oh, he just slapped the S out of me." It's not finna go down like that. It's not finna go down like that. And you as a woman, especially with that particular man that you're with, especially if you know him, y'all been together for years, in addition to his mother, he could be so angry, he's getting ready to put a hot one in somebody. And you have the power to yell that man's name and say, "Hey," and call it Bryce, and freeze him in his tracks. So he does not do whatever it is he's about to do. This is going to bring harm to him and bring harm to you and ultimately to your family. Only you can do that. Only his mama can do that. So again, I'm just unloading, just unraveling. Me and a buddy of mine talked about this 2 weeks ago, and I just been sitting on it. But like I said, out of the ordinary becomes the obvious. What she did not do was what I noticed more than anything. So again, this is, Price McKenzie, simply put, off the cuff, if you will. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, simply put PM. Go to YouTube and subscribe. Get your subscription today. Subscribe to my channel, Price McKenzie, simply put. I'm not an expert. I just know what I know, and I'll see you soon.